Earlier this week, I had the pleasure of a chat with ace accordionist Dermot Dunne and acclaimed pianist Finghin Collins. Both are performing in two concerts this Friday with the Irish Chamber Orchestra at the University Hall in Limerick. Now, we are delighted to announce with immediate effect that 100 additional tickets have been allocated between both concerts at 6:30 and at 8:30. For ticketing information, you can visit www.uch.ie or you can call 061 331 549. They are selling out fast, so get yours now. So let's go to our first soloist, Dermot Dunne. So Dermot, the first thing I wanted to ask you, you play in the Far-Flung Trio with Catherine and Malachi, both members of the Irish Chamber Orchestra. And I know you've played in the Irish Chamber Orchestra quite a lot over the last years. And I wanted to really ask you the difference between playing with two people who are from the orchestra and the whole orchestra.
The familiarity that I have with playing together with Catherine and Malachi, I also feel it with the orchestra. I know every one of them by name, and so that ease is there. So in that regard, it's the same. Although, I mean, things are always a little bit more formal when you're dealing with a larger group of people in an orchestra. You have a time schedule. You start at this time, you finish the rehearsal this time. With Catherine and Malachi, we get together and, we'll be drinking coffee or wine for the first couple of hours before we play a single note. So our rehearsals in that regard are really just friends getting together and sharing conversation as well as music. I mean, in terms of the sound, of course, an orchestra has the potential at least to create more volume, particularly in the large culminations of pieces. So you've got to push, a little bit harder to create enough volume.
Yeah. And actually, just on a sort of totally technical thing, on the accordion, to get it louder, do you just push harder?
Exactly.
What do you do?
Yeah, that's it. Okay. I mean, there's a couple of things. That's the first thing. It's like blowing harder on a wind instrument, more air into the instrument. But you would often have a bigger texture if you're playing louder. Chords. Yeah. And also, we have these little switches, registers, which bring in more reeds. A little bit like on an organ, the stops. So, you pull out all the stops, play a big chord. But ultimately, it does require more air.
Yeah, okay. Now, in the concert, you're playing some piazzolla, some tango kind of music, and also some film music.
Yeah.
And what I also wondered was, which are you most looking forward to playing?
I know you're not going to be happy with this answer, but all of them, of course. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to push you here. Listen, I'm not gonna allow a bland answer. Every one of these pieces is a real crowd pleaser. You have Libertango and Oblivion, the two most famous pieces by Piazzolla, and then you've got the beautiful soundtrack from Il Postino and Cinema Paradiso, two gorgeous Italian films. However, you have pushed me, so I'm going to say the theme music from Cinema Paradiso, only because, although I have played it before, I have never played it in this arrangement where Catherine is letting me play the tune. So she's going to allow me the privilege of playing the tune at the start, and I haven't done that before, so that's just delicious.
That sounds really lovely. It sounds like it's going to be great. Now, I'm so sorry that I won't be able to be there and hear the concert.
But I'm so glad that you're not going to be there, Matthew, because...
You're glad?
Only for one reason. The actual original instrument for playing Oblivion by Piazzolla is, I believe, the oboe. This is also a film score for an Italian film, which I've never seen, Henry IV, or probably Enrico IV or something like that. Piazzolla wrote the music for that film, and I believe the oboe plays the beautiful tune. So the fact that you're not there means I get to play it. So. But listen, accordionists, we're like the magpies of the music world. We have so little original repertoire, we steal from everyone else.
Well, I think it's going to be well worth that stealing for the concert.
I think it'll be great.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Dermot. I really appreciate your time today.
My pleasure.
And I look forward to seeing you sometime soon.
Take care. Thank you.
So, Finghin, I hear you're back from Switzerland and you've just been playing your first concert since lockdown. What was that like?
Yes, it was very exciting. It was wonderful to play live concerts again. I played chamber music and solo music in 3 different concerts as part of the Festival de Bellerive, just outside Geneva, the festival of Gabor Takac and his wife and her daughter. And Gabor, who I think is very well known to the orchestra, sends his best wishes to you for your 50th birthday. And it was just wonderful to be up in front of live audiences there. They had large audiences. They had about 300 people at the concerts. Quite relaxed, really, compared to here. Certainly the restrictions are not as severe over there. While there were precautions, it was, people were not as spaced out as they might have been here. And it was just great to be on stage again and make music with different people, and just to feel that buzz once again after 6 months was really, really, really good.
And of course, you're in quarantine and you're in your house at the moment. And when does that finish? When does your quarantine? When is it over?
Well, just when I come down to you next week, I'll be just finished my 14 days. So it's been timed with great Helvetic precision that I got back from Switzerland.
Yes.
14 days before I come down to Limerick.
In the nick of time, ready to grace the Limerick concert.
Exactly. Yes.
Now, in the concert I think it's the concert's on Friday, isn't it?
Yes.
What are you going to play?
Well, I'm going to play a piece that I've been playing since I was very young, a Mozart's Concerto in A major K414. And I think I played it first when I was about 10 or 11. It's one of the easier, technically, of the Mozart concerto. Though, of course, as we all know, Mozart is never simple. And it's a piece I've played before, in fact, with the ICO, when we went on tour around Eastern Europe in 2004, when Ireland was president of the EU. We went on a tour to welcome 10 new accession countries at that time. And this was a piece that we played in many, many different countries at that time. So it's a piece I've played with many, many different groups. I've played it with string quartets, I've played it with orchestras, chamber orchestras, and it's a beautiful, beautifully lyrical, tuneful, simple in its own way, naive, elegant concerto in 3 movements that I always enjoy playing, and I'm really looking forward to getting back to play music with the ICO next week.
Absolutely. Now, I've got a slight bone of contention about your repertoire choice. There's no oboes in it. No oboes.
Oh, well, actually, there is a version the original version has 2 oboes and 2 horns, but Mozart did say that this concerto, along with 3 others of his 23 piano concertos, could be done with strings only. So it's official from the master that it is possible to do with strings only. Of course, it's much nicer with the 2 oboes and 2 horns. I'm not saying that because you're an oboe. I'm not just saying that because you're an oboe player. Wind free or wind not free, but I like it with the. It does add, of course, it adds more colour. But in these times, we have to make do with smaller groups, and it sounds lovely with the strings as well.
Fantastic. Well, I'm really sorry that I won't be able to hear it. I've talked to everybody involved in the concert, and I think it's going to be wonderful. It's going to be a really special occasion for the orchestra to be back in Limerick, playing in our home hall, so to speak.
Absolutely.
Okay, fantastic, Finghin. I really appreciate your time today, and I wish you the very best for a wonderful concert.
Thank you so much, Matt. It's been a pleasure.